Hi, and welcome to a video on support. Now, I've been asked quite a few questions about what is support. So I'd like to define air support as maintaining resonance and releasing compression, or releasing compressed air to maintain resonance of sound. When you play softly, air comes out naturally. When you take a deep breath, your ribs expand. So there's more compression in the body than atmospheric pressure. There's higher air pressure. Air escapes naturally. Excuse me. I like using the wind stick to develop the feeling of this. If I just put it between my teeth, the air has to come out. I'm not pushing it whatsoever. If I was to breathe out and lose all the compression, so therefore atmospheric pressure was higher than inside my lungs, then I'd have to push the air. And that is the sensation in the body that most people play with. Try it out. If you wanted to play a soft note, take a deep, well, firstly breathe out all of your air, or most of it, and then try and play a soft note. So you're going to feel that strain within the body. Play the same soft note after a deep breath. There's basically nothing that you have to do in the body for it to come out. The body's going to take care of that. So we need to, away from the instrument, develop the feeling and then transfer the feeling onto the instrument. That's releasing compression, and then the ear will say, yes, I'm maintaining resonance, because a perfectly resonant tone is the balance between aperture corner tension and airflow. Now, as the aperture opens up, you need to support faster because there's more air coming out. The term support faster, you're running out of air, okay? So you will need to support the airflow. Otherwise, if you open the aperture up, you won't maintain the sound. So support is maintaining the sound and the resonance of that sound. When you open the aperture up, the abdominals work more, but you have to be very careful in the way you think about this, because people think about playing louder as pushing with the abdominals. So if you lead from there, the aperture may tighten up, and that's where you get that choking and tightening feeling within the body. So if you think of playing louder as actually opening up and supporting faster, then you're not going to have that choking sensation. Now remember, I've said it a lot in all the videos. By the way, if you haven't watched the mouth compression video, you must watch it. Stop this one now, go to that first, because this leads on after the mouth compression. To develop the upper register, you need to learn how to get compression in the body, like high compression. What I mean by that is the aperture widthwise in the upper register is a lot smaller. Now, if you pinch down, before I go on, here's an interesting exercise I do with upper secondary and university students. Okay, you're about to play a double high C. Go for it. You're about to play it. Now you're going to play it. Go for it. What reaction do you have to that? How do you feel about it? What message does your brain send you? What will you do in trying to play that note? And a lot of people laugh. Most people laugh because they instantly know they're going to tighten up. The reason they tighten up is because they think that the compression comes from choking the throat and then blowing really hard and pinching the lips down. That's the innate way of playing. So what we need to do is get the compression in the body and then release it without blowing hard. Remember, there's less air goes through the instrument as you get higher. So you don't need to blow harder. You need to get the compression into the body and then release it just a little bit at a time to try. Now I can release the smallest amount of air possible on a low note, a moderately high, a medium note, okay, and a higher register note. I'm doing the same thing on each one as far as the body's concerned, but the tension in the aperture corners is changing. It's firming up. I'm not blowing any harder. I've got compression in the body that I'm releasing. So as the mouth compression video explains, you need to learn how to separate what you're doing with your mouth and what the rest of the body's doing, because they're innately attached, and we need to separate that. So when you go to tongue or where you go to release air, you don't kick and tighten up and choke and push. So understanding how air comes out of the body naturally, and then how to support that when you're changing tension in the aperture or playing louder is what this is all about. Support is maintaining a resonant sound, a resonant balance between aperture tension and airflow, and it's releasing compression, the compression in the body.